Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
Okay, well, we just had the Golden Globes this last weekend, and as excited I was that Colin Farrell won an award for Best Actor in Penguin.
As he should have, yeah.
He deserved it. They did corner Diego Luna on the red carpet and asked him about Andor.
Okay.
Yes. And what he answered when they asked him about Andor is he said, well, I can't tell you. I'm sad.
Okay.
And they're like,
because he dies in the end.
And then he yelled out,
be sad.
because it's the last season. It's the end.
It's really the end. We
really
know how his story will ultimately end.
We do. We have the end. We have the beginning. And now we're coming back for the middle.
Exactly.
He also said, I'm excited for audiences to watch. It's been a long journey. It's cool. It comes out April 22nd. I'm excited. I'm hoping they don't dump 8 episodes on us on day one.
Nah, they're not
weird.
gonna do that. At most, it'll be another 3-parter or something for day one or 2 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we have to remember Tony Gilroy had said that the final episode of season 2 will take place 3 to 4 days before the beginning of Rogue One, and the final scene is him kind of approaching the situation that we walk into in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Which I think is going to be really cool. I kind of want to take some time off of work right after it. A day, not some time.
You need a recuperation period after.
Because I really want to watch Rogue One almost right after it to kind of get that full lead-in experience. And I'm thinking a lot of other people are going to want to do that as well.
Well, we're going to kick off our Andor re-reviews here any day now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think we're going to try to do 1 per week.
I mean,
or maybe.
I really hope that this season of Andor really pays off for Disney Plus. Can't forget that season 2 supposedly costed well north of $290 million.
Well worth it. I've already said it.
Which is more than what it cost them to make Rise of Skywalker.
Wow, it's one way to put it.
Which, according to Deadline, Rise of Skywalker costed $275 million. That makes Andor's total tally they're saying is $645 million.
Yeah, but I thought there was some shenanigans in there where they tried to lump other things in there. Yeah.
I mean, plus we had all the delays. I mean, season 2 had the strike to deal with. I mean, Tony Gilroy honored the strike. He went on strike and things slowed down. But whatever. As long as this comes out a great season, I am on board. Yeah. Speaking of Andor, there was some early pre-production stuff that I was able to take a look at. And it was cool because it showed the character of Marva was originally not named Marva. She was named Maggie.
Okay.
And Bix was called Becky.
Yeah.
She looks like a Becky.
Does she?
A little bit. I knew some
well,
Beckys.
I mean, I don't know the reason why they got changed, but I'm going to assume because they weren't Star Wars-y enough. I mean, we got Tim in there.
They got away with Tim.
But a Becky
slap
and
another
Maggie.
M on it, it's fine.
Yeah, that would have been too much. That would have sounded way too Earth-like.
What's wrong with Tim and Becky?
Tim and Becky. That sounds like the neighbors in a wacky sitcom.
Other interesting image that came out was they kind of showed Ferrix, the town, and Rick's Road was originally named Rum Road. The original name then for the planet and the city or whatever, instead of Ferrix, because Rick's Road, would have been Ferrum, which is Latin for iron, and they do all that metalwork and scrapping there, which is kind of cool, but they probably wanted it to get a little further from Earth, like you said.
Yeah. It's too earthy.
We'll get away from ferrum, aka iron, and call it ferrix, because bricks is cool.
Yeah.
Bricks like bricks. When you get bricked in ferrix on Rick's Road.
Yes. Nicely said.
Anytime. That's why I'm here. You also had directed me to an interesting question to be discussed today.
I do kind of lightning response videos on my channel, and I knew we had an opening. I didn't think today's stories were going to go that long, so I thought that was a good idea to try doing a little bit of that here.
Well, plus it was a really interesting question.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect timing on the question, too, given going into the finale, or final 2 episodes, I should say, of Skeleton Crew.
Yeah. So the question comes to us from Ad Do It All Day. Hey, Thor and Naboo, do you think we'll get a backstory on Jod in these last 2 episodes? And do you think we even need a backstory on him? Or should his past remain a mystery? I'm torn by this as a fan. I want to know everything, but some things are best left to mystery and speculation. I loved Solo, but I understand why some fans were disappointed with the checklist of his major life events. Your thoughts?
Yeah, Solo was Han's big week or 2.
Solo was
everything happened.
Yeah,
it was a checklist.
Too much.
Yeah.
I can understand giving us here's something he always talks about, giving us the Kessel Run, because he talked about it 100 times during the movie.
Well, he didn't talk about it twice, but
I understand giving us the Kessel Run, but we didn't need to see we didn't need to see him big called Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, to get to the question though, like I like Solo, but yeah, it is a checklist. But get to the question. What do you think? What do you think? Do we need Jod's backstory?
Do we need it? I mean, do I think we'll get it? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think even Jude Law has said it's coming in. I think he said the last episode that they were saving it towards the end, probably because flashing back would probably do a nice montage into where he is now and what choices he's about to make or something. Do we need it though?
No.
I don't know.
I think sometimes it's best left to speculation, where we can take some of the little tidbits we've gotten and try to extrapolate what his backstory is, and then let our imagination fill in the blanks.
Well, and sometimes, I mean, Lucasfilm always does these big visual dictionaries, and every year here's a new encyclopedia and complete this and that. So we do eventually get a lot of characters' backstories.
Yeah.
I almost think it's better if they let fans ruminate on it.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying,
they're gonna see the internet, they're gonna see all of our theories, and then maybe they could craft something out of the things people have been saying. Sometimes theories turn into wonderful realities.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if sometimes they do hear something and go, we can take that and use that. But I feel like sometimes you just don't need it. Sometimes characters are like Han Solo. We go back to Han, and again, it's a fine movie, but did we need like Han's backstory?
To be fair, though, how many characters in this have we really gotten a full, complete backstory for? The kids are too young to have a backstory. Let's just start there.
This is their backstory.
We have their personalities. That's their story. We haven't gotten backstory on a single character in this whole show.
I mean,
maybe a little bit on SM, but that's it.
Yeah, like you said in the comment, I love backstory. I like to know everything because that's just me. I'm that completionist mindset where I want to know every minute of their life because, I don't know, because I'm weird, I guess, and like that sort of thing. But I feel like sometimes we do get a little too obsessed with backstory in modern entertainment. Or, we didn't know his backstory, so we couldn't possibly understand his motivation. Sometimes the characterization is all you need to understand motivation.
Right.
I think Luthen is a perfect example. If we don't end up getting Luthen's backstory in Andor...
I'll cry.
Well, I think we will get more.
We don't need his full backstory, though. We just need the event that changed him.
His characterization is so good. Do I really need to know the way he delivered that speech or his monologue in the 10th episode?
Yeah.
Like, it's so good where I'm like, I'm already on board with this guy. I don't necessarily need to have it fully explained to me why he feels the way he does.
Well, part of this backstory conversation depends on what the backstory brings to the story at present.
In the current, exactly, yeah.
If learning his backstory doesn't really give us any context that pertinent
we need
to the moment, then no, we didn't need it. But if knowing his backstory gives us this huge glimpse into who this is, and it changes, like with your second watch through, it changes how you see all of his actions, then absolutely we need it.
No, I agree. It's a need versus want, and sometimes you get things you want, and sometimes you don't get the things you need. That's sometimes how it goes.
Right, and they don't need to give us a full backstory.
No, we don't need the Jod backstory episode.
Right. We totally don't. No. They're not going to give us a full episode. I think they learned an Acolyte that we can't stand too many flashbacks.
Well, it's not that we can't stand them. My issue with the Acolyte having flashbacks wasn't the flashback that it happened.
I know.
It was kind of that they gave us the same flashback and then kind of just added a little more to it, and like that's a Rashomon effect.
No, it's not. No.
But my guess is, we have heard from Jude Law. I think we're going to get a chunk. It's going to be a little something, a nice thing to sink your teeth into, but it's not going to be like, here's the 10-minute flashback, which explains everything. We're going to figure out what exactly happened to him in relation to the Jedi Order. Because I do think he was a part of it. Because
that's the story that we need.
Yeah, and it's not going to be like a full thing. It's going to, he was either taken or abducted or Order 66 or something. We'll get that big chunk, and then that's it.
That's the pertinent information that the audience needs to know. We don't need to know every single pirate job he's been on and how that affected it.
That's for Marvel comic books to do.
Yeah, the big chunk of information should be fine.
Yeah.
And then it leaves some mystery, because if they do get a season 2, they can flesh out his backstory some more if they choose to at that time.
Excellent point.
But by not going too far and giving everything in one go, I mean, you get to savor things a bit, right?
I agree. All right, well, excellent question. And I think that's going to be all we got for this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Leave a question in there. If people like this, maybe we'll try to do this frequently. Maybe we'll end the videos with questions or something. Either way, leave your comments or questions below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.